Welcome. I am Joe Dager of Business901 and host of Connecting Your Passion. One of the programs that you talk about is teen court. How is your teen court different than other teen courts, and what is teen court? Okay.
The beautiful thing about teen court is that actually a little over a year ago I took over the program. One of the most beautiful things about that program that we're developing, and what I've seen, because I'm a part of the Indiana Teen Court Association here in Indiana. I go with the meetings. I'm actually the vice president of that board right now, in that entity in Indiana. And we come together and we discuss our teen courts. What I have done to make ours different and special, I guess, in that regards, is training. I am developing right now and trying to put in practice with my youth volunteers that there's going to be a series of 3 trainings per step. Once they complete those trainings, they have to complete a number of hours in the courtroom. They also have to complete a number of actual meetings in order to receive bronze, silver, and gold levels of volunteerism. And then I'm going to have pins for them that every time they achieve that goal, they can hold on to that and say, wow, look at what I've accomplished. I really have tried to get with our lawyers in the county. They're going to start helping us with training. Because what teen court really is it's an entity, a courtroom, a justice type system that kids in the community that have first time offended, first time made a mistake in their lives, they come in, they're referred through probation, the school system, even interagency referrals. If Ryan has an issue with a home-based child client and he feels that teen court would be best for him, he can say, hey, let's put him through teen court, let's see if that'll make a difference. When they show up on a court night, let's say a defendant comes in, they first meet with me and fill out the paperwork and I explain to them what's going on. Then they will go to court and we have it in the Superior Courtroom in Huntington County in the courthouse. And we have a youth volunteer who serves as the prosecuting attorney and the defense attorney. And we also have youth volunteers that are bailiff and the jury members. And then we always have an adult judge that kind of oversees it. What they do is it's just like a regular trial hearing. They bring up witnesses, ask them questions. The jury ultimately goes into the jury room, decides the sentence for the youth, and then comes out, reads them their sentence, and then we put together a contract form that the youth has to do. Another thing that makes us different is that I have just instituted as a sentencing option having a teen court probation. So that means that these kids that are placed on teen court, gone through the system, they're on a probation period for 90 days. During this 3 months, they have to call me at least once a week, just kind of see how they're doing. You know, I check their grades. I check to see how they're doing with their parents, to see if they've had any disciplinary issues. Have you seen a difference in their lives? So I can have a one-on-one, hands-on, trying to help them see where they made the mistake and go on with positive choices afterwards. Now, once a month, they have to meet with me personally. And then we go through with, okay, how can you stop this from being an issue for you in the future? How can you go through this program? It's a $50 fee, but that's so much cheaper than going through regular probation that can cost anywhere from $500 to $3,000. And then once they're done, it gets taken off their record. So, I mean, they really, truly have a second chance. They have a chance to go through and figure something out and go from there. And that's really where I'm trying to make a difference is, you know, through our sentencing options, through our training, through how we just communicate things to the community. Because right now I'm just trying to get all the schools on board, trying to say, hey, you know, you can use teen court and conflict mediation, which is a different program that Ryan's involved with, to bring it into, hey, you have kids getting in fights. Instead of taking them out for 3 days, let's say you bring in conflict mediator or you put them into teen court. Then they have a chance of, oh, this is really serious, but at the same time, they're not losing school hours. They're not losing their grades, but they still have a punishment that, hey, we really need to learn from our mistakes because there's better ways to handle this.
What I love most about teen court, and like when I will refer to Ron, is because, say the kid got in trouble, but you know it's their first offense or whatever, it keeps them out of being in the system. It keeps them without having to have a record. It keeps them from, you know, having this down the line, you know, coming up and other things.
With teen court, does the court refer them to you also?
Through the probation.
Through the probation
department. Because what happens is once they go through the court, juvenile circuit court, then there's really no opportunity to bring them into teen court because they've already been placed on regular
Okay.
probation. Because normal probation is anywhere from 6 to 12 months in Huntington County. So what happens is probation officer will get a referral from the police. They'll go through the police report and they'll say, okay, is this going to be an opportunity to put them through teen court so that they can get a second chance? Once they look through that, see that they meet the requirements, then they'll say, hey, Ron, I've got this referral for you. They can either fax it to me or they'll stop it by. Most of the time they hand it to me straight. They'll just drive by the agency, here you go, I got another referral for you. And then what I will do is I will call up that person, set up a time for us to meet, do the paperwork, and then I put them into a computer base where I have all of my defendants listed by name. And then I will have all of their papers. I got a scanner, I just scan it straight into their file. And that way I have everything I need for them. But then we just go through step by step with the process. And it's just, I have such a passion for it. Once I got involved with the teen court program, I was like, this is really neat. This is really going to make a difference. And ever since it was instituted nationwide, it's become more and more that, the judicial system saying, hey, this is a great opportunity. We need to start using it more. And the thing that I've learned about teen court that some people really don't think about is that when these kids go before a jury of their peers, they cannot ever say, well, they're a bunch of adults, they don't understand what I was going through, they just sentenced me because it's unfair and they don't understand what I deal with in a day, so I just got to go through the system. Once they have a jury of their peers, they're going, wow, these kids live through what I live through every day. They go through the same school I do. They understand the pressures that I have. They no longer have an excuse of, they just don't understand. Now they start thinking, wow, okay, maybe this is not acceptable. And then that's where you see the difference really make a change in their lives.
Are the kids hard on them? Okay, I mean, as far as sentencing, or
well, it's true. I mean, you really do think about it. And every
or
once
they
in a
go,
while,
okay, Johnny.
Yeah, exactly. Every once in a while, I mean, I had an issue in my court one time where we got into the jury room and there was this guy who was on the football team, and the girls were like, but he's cute, and I'm like, no, and that's a teaching moment, I really do. I push my volunteers to the limits because I know that these kids are young adults. They have the potential. They have the intelligence. They can do it. And what I have found through sentencing is that you will get, one time, 60% of them are, look, they did not learn from this. We're going to basically nail them to the wall. Okay, we're going to do this because they need to learn their lesson. A lot of it has to do with how they show up to court. If they show up in baggy jeans and a hat tipped off to the side, then, my kids go, look, they really don't care enough, so, we're going to give them more community service hours. There have been times that we've had cases to where the kid did get enough at home. It was brought out in the trial that he did get enough of a punishment for what he did, and there was no punishment given. It's the only time I've ever seen that happen. But, I mean, they're very fair. They are. They're very fair in their sentencing. Every once in a while it might be a question, but the beauty of it is, I always go back into the jury room with them. I allow them to make their decisions, but every once in a while I might say, guys, let's just think about this, So.
And another great thing about teen court is 90% of the kids, they wind up not ever having to go back through any sort of probation or anything like that. When they get through teen court, they don't get back into trouble.
Well, I'd like to thank the both of you for being on the show today, and anybody that is watching, okay, I'd like to thank you. If you would like any information about the show, visit our website, fundingyournonprofit.com. Or if you'd like to participate, contact me at info@business901.com. Thank you. Now they show you.